Hello and welcome back. A very warm welcome to all my listeners into another brand new episode of Sky Technica. Myself, Rupak Roy, your friend and host of this show. Before I step in, once again, I would like to pay my sincere thanks and tributes towards Dr. Karan Singh for creating such a wonderful platform named Radio MITWS. Well, my today's discussion is to present a critical commentary on the topic Festival post COVID-19. As we all know that festivals have become a part of the cultural fabric of the global society and the tourism and leisure pursuit. This is participated by many. The COVID-19 crisis has meant that many festivals in 2020 have been cancelled or postponed. But what are actually going to be the long-term impacts for the future of this industry and accessibility of these events? Will greater restrictions be placed on licensing? A maximum number of attendees allowed? Will there be a certification scheme for attendees and participants based on current testing methods for COVID-19? Will festival become more exclusive or will be more small-scale accessible organization that work within a new sharing economy? In this session, I will try to explore some of these issues and possibilities for the future of the festival industries through the view of potential shift in economic paradigm as the outcomes of this pandemic. The rapidly developing global COVID-19 pandemic crisis continue to have severe effect on the ways in which societies operate, both in terms of economic activity and in relation to how people spend their leisure time. Pattern of working life are changing and many businesses are suffering from biggest global recession. The possible outcomes are used in the following commentary to present some potential effects of COVID-19 on the future of the festival industry. Well, as we all know that festivals are a social phenomena that occur in virtually all human cultures and have been defined as the sacred or profane time of celebration marked by some specific observances. They are staged in various variety of locations. It may be indoor, it may be outdoor, it may be as well as in virtual spaces. With a variety of management structuring ranging from public sector provision, not-for-profit and privately run organizations. There are a wide range of types from food festivals to theatre, dance to music or a combination of art forms, ranging from the smallest community festival to large-scale festivals with more than 1 million participants. They can be of global outreach or rooted in a local or religious traditions. Festivals make a huge contribution to the global tourism industry in a number of ways. In some instances, they became the key motivator and driver of tourism. In other cases, festivals are the part of overall cultural offerings of a destination. And in other, they are phenomena that tourists stumble upon into their travel. So recent studies on what motivated people to attend festival includes escape from everyday life, socialization, and family togetherness. These events reinforces social and communal identities or belongingness, where the human need for frequently effectively pleasant interaction with others can be satisfied, and where cultural and social capital can be developed. Undoubtedly, festivals are new pivotal role and are part of a fabric global society. The festival industries now lie at the sharper capitalism end of the mixed economy of many countries, and in general, buoyancy is therefore determined by the market force of the supply and demands with very limited government interventions. So let me discuss regarding the potential futures for the festival industries. As we all know that there is no certainty as to how the future society as a whole will look like. With conflicting news stories concerning an exit strategy from lockdown, some suggested that pandemic will last beyond 2020 and that will be not back to normal until a vaccine is produced. So, as discussed earlier by an ecological economist, Mayer, in the year 2020, the basic premise is that the response of the crisis will require some more form of radical social changes, ideally where we produce less and therefore causing less damage to the environment, and where we understand the economy as being the way to take our resources and turn them into the things we need to live to. So we know that there can be actually four potential outcomes. The first is robot capitalist state, where capitalist production continues as it has done in the past, but where the state steps into support market in crisis by extending welfare, giving out business loans, and providing more credit. So festivals are also at high risk in other ways. Due to the sheer number of people that attend it, they require a huge focus on health and safety regulation, crisis, and risk management. Yet, no risk assessment in the world could have prepared the industry for lockdowns and social distancing measures that we are currently experiencing. Many event companies are not insured against pandemics. Many companies in the supply chain are not doing any business, and many festivals have been forced to cancel or postpone their 2020 editions. What does this mean for the future of the industry? Well, unless festival organizations are innovative in developing high quality online alternatives, or their customers are prepared to roll the tickets purchases over to the next year, they are at risk of liquidation without government intervention. So, in reality, a short-term intervention by government may provide some initial help for the 2020 session. But if the pandemic lasts for significant length of time, this is not sustainable and a more long-term strategy will be required. In the second scenario, we will talk about social socialism, state socialism. A government protects the part of the economy that are essential to life. The festival environment has often been sociologically analyzed as utopic, and in the sense it could be argued that environments should be made more available to everyone in the society. As intimated earlier, festivals do play a pivotal role in society and in many respects. Therefore, festivals will never be considered as a human need and therefore will not be fully available for free. If all adults in society were provided an income for securing their basic needs, it is possible that they would have been more disposable income to spend on activities while attending such festivals. Now let us talk regarding the third potential outcome, that are barbarism. Is the exact opposite to the state socialism as discussed earlier. This is an unlikely outcome, definitely, as the name suggests, due to the level of social state intervention currently at play. However, in areas where the disadvantaged in society feel unlikely treated, this may bring out antisocial behavior among certain group. The festival environment is not excluded from this type of issues, and with long history of drug and crime related incidences, it is a possibility that this could be excavated. It is likely that some of the evidences of having been tested for COVID-19 is a prerequisite for entry will need to be enforced, which could easily lead to the black market and dangerous level of fraudulent activity. Although the festival organizations are resilient and well equipped to deal with such issues, some elements of state intervention and legal framework would be introduced which may deter the people from attending larger events. The last potential outcome for society following COVID-19 is the idea of society based on mutual aid, where individuals and small groups being to organize support and care within their communities through binding networks and protect the vulnerable. There has been a strong, compassionate, and healthy response to the pandemic from communities across the world, whereas people are offering help and support to each other like never before. With a decrease in air travel, social distancing, and mere focus on local and virtual communities, there is a potential for growth of number of important smaller, more affordable community events as well as virtual or online festivals. These would be based around and run by communities where art for art's sake are the main motivations to produce and attend. In the end, I would like to wrap up by summarizing that there is some hope for a blend of state socialism and mutual aid, where strong democratic nation states that mobilize resources to build strong health system and prioritize the protection of vulnerable people and the environment to begin to evolve, where citizens from mutual aid groups are more equal economic development. This blend of socialism and mutual aid applied to the festival could be really insofar as small community festivals may be more efficient method of limiting the number of attendees and cutting down costs for the festival host and attendees. The fact is, mixed economies of the world can be successful in the long term for all the members of the society with a good blend of ethical capitalism and socialist politics, where the state makes good financial decision on what services to support and where successful companies maintain a sense of responsibility to the wider communities that they serve. The festival industry could be set to a leading light in the following this path. Thank you for listening. I wish you all a very happy Dashera and Shubha Vijaya. Stay safe.